Like many manga and anime series, Bleach draws on several mythological and cultural symbolic elements not only from Japan, but from other nationalities as well. It even won the Shogakukan Award, which is given to manga series that highlight Japanese values and culture. What exactly does Bleach have that makes it deserving of this award? Let's find out. In the anime, the main group of characters are known as Soul Reapers, or Shinigami. Shinigami directly translates to Death God, very similar to the Grim Reaper in Western culture. In Japanese mythology, Shinigami invite humans to their deaths either by force or guidance through the afterlife. Shinigami in the anime do exactly that by releasing spirits still trapped in the world of the living, also known as the human world, or by killing Hollow, which are spirits that have turned into soul-eating monsters. Another thing to note is the king of the underworld in Japanese religion is known as the Yama. The king of the Shinigami in Soul Society, basically the afterlife that spirits and Shinigami reside in, is also named Yama. We'll talk more on Soul Society later. The swords that the Shinigami use in Bleach, generally named Zanpakuto, are a reference to swords made by the two legendary swordsmiths, Goru Masumune and Sengo Muramasa. Muramasa supposedly was so ill-tempered that people believed his swords were insane and couldn't be sheathed without drawing blood. An example of this being shown in the anime is a character named Muramasa, the embodiment of a Zanpakuto spirit, devours Hollow's souls in order to stay healthy enough to live. What about Soul Society? Well, it is a direct reference to the religion of Buddhism. In Buddhism, it is believed that living creatures go through a continuous cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, and every time this happens, the creature is reincarnated into a different body in one of the 6 realms. The first is the human realm, which is represented in Bleach by the world of the living. There's the Preta realm, whose inhabitants are invisible to most people, and it can sometimes overlap with the human realm. Therefore, it's obvious to believe that this partly inspired the creation of the Soul Society in Bleach. However, the residents of the Preta realm are said to have been bad people in life, and they're driven by an insatiable hunger. This is suggested to be the basis for the Hollows in the realm they live in, known as Huecomundo. Next is the Naraka realm, which in real life and in Bleach is essentially hell. The Asura realm is said to be the home of the demigods, a mix of malevolent and well-meaning beings, so it's possible that Soul Society is also inspired by that. The Deva realm is home to incredibly powerful spirits and deities, so this seems to inspire the Serete, which is the home of the Shinigami within Soul Society. The last realm of Buddhism is the animal realm. It seems that Komamura, a Shinigami captain who is also a foxman, and his family were reincarnated into the animal realm, and from there moved into Soul Society. Now here's where things get a little interesting. It would seem that Hollows are inspired by a mixture of inhabitants of the Preta realm and the Mexican holiday known as the Day of the Dead. The Hollows' designs, or more specifically, the idea of them wearing their masks, came from the mask people wear when celebrating Day of the Dead. Also, Mexican and Spanish-inspired names are used for the Hollows and their techniques. Another reference to Japanese mythology is the fact that the main character, Ichigo Kurosaki's soul fusion, or soul is a fusion of 4 different souls. He is a human, a Shinigami, a Hollow, and something I haven't talked about yet, a Quincy. Quincies are practically Shinigami that use spiritual energy weapons instead of Zanpakuto and look more like Christian religious leaders than Soul Reapers. The fusion of souls seen here is a reference to the Japanese concept of Mitama, the soul of a dead person. Ichigo's spirit is a mix of 4 different souls seemingly independent of the others. Throughout the manga and the anime, his different souls internally struggle with each other. That's it for this video explaining the mythological and cultural connections Bleach has throughout its manga and anime. There's definitely several more minor hints that could be talked about, but these are the major points that stand out much more prominently.